Here we are. This is the debut episode of the Here We Are show. My name's Kyle O'Reilly from CSN. I'm so happy and excited to have a very special guest for our debut episode. We have got none other than the Nightmea herself, the IBO world champion, Mea Motu.
Yep, Mea Motu it is, the Nightmea.
On today's episode, we are going to be talking boxing. We are going to be talking about future titles, but we're going to touch on parenting. We're going to touch on some other bits and bobs that you might not have expected. One of which is Mea taking on a lion, me potentially beating up a goat. Keep watching. All right, so you've just had the fight announcement. You and Isaac Peach here at the lab. We had some media present. You're next in line. You're the mandatory option for the IBF title.
Yeah.
Why are we having another fight in between? You want to stay active, or why can't we just jump in? Why don't you wait for the IBF?
I hate waiting. I'm actually impatient. I love fighting. That's my passion, that's my drive, and that's where I feel at home when I'm in the ring. And I always like being active. You know, I just love fighting. That's the main thing. You know, and Isaac wants to keep me active. I want to be active, you know, so that's why I'm having a fight before the main title.
I can never really sort of get into a fighter's head in terms of, like, you're so lucky in terms of the fact that your passion and what you love doing is your job.
Yeah.
But like, I can never really, I'm a 9-to-5 worker. I don't really have many hobbies. So it's like, how do you separate the job aspect and the love aspect and the passion aspect of what you do?
I think I find it easy for me because I love it. So like literally when I hop on that ring, it's like I'm the Nightmea Motu.
You're home.
I'm home, and that's the Nightmea in the ring. Outside the ring, I'm like this dorky, hoary ass, moldy. Outside the ring, you know, I'm actually really goofy, really hoary, and act real stupid.
You love a pie as well. I heard you talking earlier. I was so enamored by the pie knowledge that you had.
Oh, yeah.
You seem to know every pie shop in the North Island.
Yeah, 100%.
How?
Oh, because I used to love meat. I don't anymore.
You're a veggie now, eh?
Yeah, I've been a veggie for 3 years, so I love fish pies, veggie pies, but not meat. But I know I've got 5 kids.
You remember meat pies.
Yeah, I remember the meat pies, and I got 5 kids who are real fussy with pies. So they don't like just, like if you
not
take
any
them,
pie.
Not any pie. Like they know, they're like, nah, mum, take us to that pie shop because it's the best pie. Yeah, and I'm always like hunting, like where's the best pie? And I've got a big family, so they're fussy too. Yeah, so they tell us where all the pie shops are.
5 pie connoisseur kids. That's a lot.
Yeah.
How do you? So that's actually like quite interesting. And another thing, like I said, I can't really get into the mind of a fighter and how you're able to sort of do the passion and be yourself in the ring. How do you like balance, I guess, being a mother to 5 kids with what I assume is quite a high intense work life? I mean, you're the champion of the world.
I don't even know how I do it sometimes.
Yeah.
I freak out that, like, some days I wake up and I'm like, oh shit, I'm the world champion. Oh, that's right. Because literally when I'm at home, I'm just mum.
Your mum, yeah.
Yeah, and even when I'm out with my kids, like I forget I'm the fighter because people will be like, oh, you're the Nightmea. And I'm like, no. And then I'm like, oh no, yeah, I am. Actual, like I am. Oh yeah, I'm from Peace Boxing, but I forget. So when I'm mum, I'm like literally mum. And then when it's boxing, I'm the fighter.
Must be quite challenging though, because even like from my perspective, like I said, I'm a 9-to-5 worker. I struggle sometimes, like doing a long day's work, and it can be long, even though it's just in an office sat behind a desk. It can be long. Like it's mentally messes you up sometimes. To then have to come home and have a second job in terms of like looking after the kids, getting their dinner ready, getting them bathed, getting them ready for school in the morning, kind of thing. Like it's a lot.
That's hard.
Yeah.
It's easier being the fighter.
Is that the harder side of your life?
Yeah, that's the harder side. It's easier being the fighter. I'm like, yes, I'm running away from the children. Save me.
It's almost like I kind of say, and I hope my kids don't watch this at some point, but like I say having kids is kind of the best and the worst thing I've ever done.
Oh, yeah.
Like you have the highest of the highs and the lowest of the lows.
Yeah, because like sometimes you're always like, when you're a mum, you're like, you always have expectation, and then sometimes when your kids are hurt, you hurt even 10 times worse than what the children are feeling.
You have to be the bad guy as well,
Yeah,
don't you?
and you have to be the bad guy
They
too.
see you being the superhero, they see you winning world titles, and then at home you have to say, no, you're not allowed to do that, or you have to go to bed now.
Yeah, which I struggle.
Yeah.
Because I'm a kid myself. So I struggle to ground my own children.
Yeah.
So I'm like, no, I don't want to do it.
You kind of like, I'm the same, to be fair, because my wife takes on the role of being the disciplinarian. They know that if they come to me, they'll come over and they'll be like, oh, Daddy, have you asked your mum? No. And
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like, you have to go and ask your mum.
I send them to my sister. I'm like, oh, ask your auntie or ask Nan. Because I'm like, yeah, I can't do it.
You're a pushover.
Yeah, I'm a pushover.
So completely opposite then. Like in the ring, you're the aggressive, forward-moving Mea Motu. But at home, you're the,
I'm actually really kind. I'm real kind,
throw the towel in.
loving. Yeah, I'm loving, kind, gentle as. Wouldn't hurt a bloody soul. And coming to the ring and come to boxing, I'm like aggressive, angry, let it all out.
The juxtaposition's mad. Like I'm finding that the more, because I think like it's been about 3 years now that I've been working for CSN and like meeting fighters, commentating events, and I'm seeing that more and more often. I think from like outsiders or people that don't know fighters, they see them as these mean, horrible, like the way films and TV shows depict them in like these mean, horrible people fresh out of jail, probably on their way back to jail in 5 minutes. But like the more I get to know people, I'm like, oh my God, these are like normal people and probably nicer than the people I know that have never had a fight in their lives.
Yeah, I'm actually just normal. I'm the kindest person. I love it when people come up to me because I get more inspired when people are like, oh, hello.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I find it so encouraging, and it only empowers me and it uplifts me and it keeps me determined.
Sort of gives you something to fight for, I guess.
100%.
Or like more of something to fight for.
It gives me that hunger. Because when people say to me, oh my gosh, so proud of you, it's like, oh yes, I'm going to keep doing it. So, that gives me that switch. Like, yeah, let's go.
With the pride side of things, and we've obviously just spoken about your kid, like, what was their reaction when you became champion of the world?
They just looked at me like I was just mum. They were just like, okay.
Just another day at the office.
Yeah, they just was just like, oh, that's right, Mum. Yeah, you won. Because like literally, when it's
win.
home,
you're undefeated. You win.
Yeah, we don't really talk about boxing. It's more that's my time with my children, and it's just me being mum, and then getting to know them because like I'm so busy with work and training that I barely make time for them. So when I do, it's just about them.
So it is separation. Like you are able to like separate both aspects. So that's
I
perfect.
completely
That's really
block
good.
it. Like once I get home, it's like, yay, enjoying my time with my children, which I love.
I need you to give me some tips on that because I think I still sort of answer emails when I go home.
Oh yeah, see, like I will put my phone down unless it's my coach ringing.
Yeah.
Then I'll answer it, but otherwise I just don't answer because I'm just like, nah. Because life is short.
Exactly.
People they think life is long, but for me, I just look at it, time is precious. You never know when your last day is going to be here on this earth or when your last day with your child's going to be. So you want every moment to be memorable and you want to treasure every moment and make it special. And we get so caught up in our own life, like work life, training, that we neglect those little things with our children. Yeah. Like just even sitting and like my kids, the majority of them, they don't even sleep in their bloody room. They come sleep by me. But it's like, for me, I love it because that could be my last time I sleep with them. So I treasure that.
It goes past in the blink of an eye as well, doesn't it? How old are your kids, by the way?
My oldest is 16 and I feel like it's gone too fast. And like next minute he's going to be out of the house and I'm going to be like crying like a big sook. I'm like, oh, he's leaving me. I already feel it. You know? So I'm like,
it's not far away.
I'm just enjoying it when he does sleep by me and I just enjoy every moment and I treasure it.
Because that's what I feel as well. It just like, you look back on photos or videos of your kids and you think in your head that was 5 minutes ago, but in reality it was 5 years ago. And you're like, where has the time gone?
It's gone so
and
fast.
you need to make it memorable because, yeah, like you said, it could just sort of end at any moment, or they could move out, or they don't need you anymore.
Yeah.
That's what I'm worried about.
That's
the
what I'm
second
scared
they
of.
don't need me.
As soon as they don't need me, it's like, oh. But it's also just because I've lost a lot of family, and like I've had a lot of cousins pass away, and it's just sad because they're only so young, and we didn't treasure those moments. Like a lot of it, I wish I look back and I'm like, man, I wish I treasured those little moments with them. So now I make sure that my time is precious with my children. Every moment, whether it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, I treasure that moment and I embrace it because you never know, tomorrow could be my last day with my son, and it's just like, at least I know as a mum, I treasured every moment possible with him.
Because we do sort of look back at things retrospectively, don't we? And we say, we should have done this, we should have done that. So making time for not even just for your kids, but for the people around you is a way of sort of making sure that you don't look back on life with any regrets.
Yeah.
And you're not going to regret unifying the titles.
No.
That's the next step.
Yes.
So
100%.
IBF versus IBO. If the IBF champion wins, does she get the WBO title as well? Are they fighting for both?
Yeah.
So you could potentially,
be fighting for
in
both.
2 fights' time, have 3 titles.
100%.
And then what?
And then go for the WBC and WBA.
Rings vacant as well. Why don't we just throw that one into the mix then? When you're fighting for IBF and WBO in 2 fights' time, why don't we just say, look, we'll chuck the ring one in and all? Because I'm going to get it anyway. We might as well put it on the line now.
True.
Yeah.
But I want to chase the WBC and WBA. That's more important to me.
That's more important.
Yeah.
Why?
Because I'm fighting for it. I'm earning it.
Fair enough.
I don't want to just have something handed.
I mean, you're still going to have to fight for it.
Yeah, but like...
I'll fight for it.
It doesn't feel the same. Because like with the WBC and the WBA, you're fighting for it. You're actually fighting. And then the same with the IBF and the WBO. You're fighting an opponent for it. So you're earning it. Where the Ring magazine, it kind of just gets handed.
Yeah.
So it's just like, you know, I want that belt, but...
you might as well have them all.
I'd rather fight and earn it. Because then it feels more like I've earned that.
Yeah,
I worked hard. I trained, because like people forget that like we train hard for 10 weeks. We sacrifice, our body goes on the line. We sacrifice time away from our family. You know, we don't get to go out like for dinners and stuff like, you know, as a family because we sacrifice 10 weeks of just hard, constant training. And, you know, that's where our focus is. So like when you fight for it, you're earning it.
Yeah.
You know, and so that's why I'm like,
it means a lot more.
It means way more to me.
What is like a typical in-camp training, like 2 weeks out? What's a day look like in the life of Mea Motu?
Oh, 2 weeks out. Probably like second to last week, it starts slowly coming down. Like we slowly start toning it down. We just make everything fast and explosive. And then it's just keeping, the last week is just keeping that weight maintained and just sharp, really. It's not, and it's just staying focused, really focused. Like the really good thing is I have a really great coach who's always like every day, like, are you ready? Are you focused? You know, so he's constantly reminding and our ears, our mind, our body, everything is just solely focused in that ring. And that's all we're thinking of.
That's the way to.
Yeah, and that's like, it's honestly worked for us.
What's the weight cut like? Like you touched on it just then, but like you see horror stories and you see people, like the one that I remember the most, and it was Conor McGregor when he used to fight at featherweight. And he looked like Skeletor, up on the scales, 5 seconds away from death.
Yeah.
Like, do you have any like weight cutting horror stories or any?
No. I don't have like weight cut horror stories. The good thing is like my coach knows where we should be sitting. He's constantly always like, what's your weight? And we're like, okay. And he's like, I'll get it down a little bit more. But he doesn't like us losing too much. So I think my coach is like, he is. He's pretty on to it, man. Because he does it to all of us.
And it's not like a dramatic weight cut. So it's not
no,
like,
it's not
so
dramatic.
I think Conor was walking around at like 190, cutting to 145 for a fight. Like yours ain't as dramatic as that.
No way. No.
Like a
so
couple
like,
of pounds here and there.
I'll like sit around 57 and then we just drop the water weight and then bang, we're on weight.
I might need you to put me in touch with your coach.
Yeah. Well, 10 weeks, he already...
I need a bit of weight loss.
Yeah, I think that's the key. When you've got a bloody awesome coach who's really onto it, knows how our body works, you know, knows what we shouldn't be eating. You know, he's very knowledgeable there. You know, far. Just made me realize, like, whoa, he's knowledgeable in
You're
everything.
a bit like you're more lucky
I'm like,
than
whoa,
you.
is this man a doctor, a scientist, everything? Sheex.
Just figured it out.
Yeah, just got my head going, tick tick.
After you become the unified champion at super bantamweight, I'm hoping that you move up to featherweight, because we see Mea Motu, we see you on TV, but there are some big names at featherweight.
Yeah.
Like globally world-renowned fighters. Like Amanda Serrano is one of them. She's, I think, 3 champion in 3.
4,
WBA,
I think. No,
WBO.
4. She's 4, isn't she? She just doesn't have
as well. Yeah.
Just,
so it's just WBC that she doesn't have.
Yeah.
And then we've got Sky Nicholson, who's the interim WBC, who she's kind of not, I wouldn't say untested, but I think she's only had 9 fights. So 9 fights, 9 wins, doing pretty well, but she's blowing up social media. I've heard of her, and I shouldn't.
Yeah.
I shouldn't know who she is.
She is a big name.
So aside from like being the champion 2 weight classes, it's an opportunity for you to be a global, like a proper global face and like a bit of a celebrity.
Yeah, 100%.
That's
the next goal. Yeah. Definitely.
So once boxing's gone, you want to be a face.
Yeah, I just want to go up because that's what I love. Like, I just want to get in the ring with the best.
Yeah.
I want to fight the best. That's what I want. I want to fight the best to be the best. I just want to be the best in what I enjoy and love.
What's stopping you at the moment? What's stopping you from fighting a bit? Like boxing went through a bit of a stage where people inside and outside of boxing thought it was a bit shady. Like it became more about the money and the business as opposed to the best fighting the best.
Oh yeah.
Like what's stopping you from doing that at the moment? Or have you had any like?
Oh no, I just want to unify first.
Yeah.
That's my goal. That's always been my goal. I want to unify, be undisputed as well, and then move up. And then unify there and undispute there.
And then move up again?
Yeah, just keep going. I won't stop.
And then we're going to see super heavyweight Mea Motu in 5 years' time.
Yeah, I was keen to do that too. I just want to keep going, eh?
Well, I can help you with the super heavyweight diet.
But you know what's even better? So, like, like the cool thing about Amanda Serrano and Sky Nicholson, you know their name.
Yeah.
So, like, but I want to know my name and I want the world to know my gym and where I'm from. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's even better.
I think we're not far off Peach Boxing being like the city kickboxing of boxing, because you've got so many, your stablemates or your teammates are outstanding. I mean, we'll get on to like your Jeromes and your Andres, but we had that Lethal Ladies a couple of weeks ago, and we saw your, in a very non-disrespectful way, the lower level fighters, so outside of your world title contenders, fighting on that, and they're phenomenal. Like, what a show that was. What has Peach Boxing got that your other bang average boxing gym don't have?
Oh, what we got? I definitely have to say it comes down to your attitude and belief. You know, when you walk in that gym, you walk in there and you got to believe. Don't moan, don't complain, and just do the work. You know, we're very old school. We don't have all this fancy science. I don't believe in that rubbish. I just believe hard work, dedication, and determination. Definitely, 100%. And just give it your
attitude thing, I guess.
Yeah, attitude, 100%.
Do you kind of, it's going to sound a little bit stupid, but do you kind of vet the people that, because I assume that anybody can just join and come and train.
Yeah.
But do you kind of vet these people at the door and ask like a couple of questions like, oh, what do you, and if they don't really meet the criteria, go piss off?
Oh, they get found inspiring.
Yeah.
if they can't handle that. Because a lot of places, they just pitter-patter.
Yeah.
They just tap, and it's like, oh, don't hit me here.
Yeah.
It's like, nah, get out of here. Boxing's real.
Yeah.
It's not a joke. And that's what half of these people do. They treat it like it's just like a pitter-patter game, but it ain't. You know, when you get in that ring, you're going to get found. So that's why our coach prefers us to do it in sparring. Put all the hard work in their sparring, get dropped, get hurt. Because if you can get up, then you can handle it.
Yeah.
You know, so that's what the attitude comes down to. Get up, don't stay down. You know? If you stay down, then you're not in it.
So you guys
mentally.
are kind of, you're the product of being thrown into the lion's den and surviving.
Yeah, that's what it's like. Yep.
And that's why everyone is successful.
Yep.
Because you've all passed that sort of lion's den test.
Yeah. And like sometimes we do play, like have a little sock because we're like, oh. But
You're human.
yeah.
Yeah.
But man, when you swear, you get found, and then you're just like, like you're really frustrated because you go back and you're like, okay, I've got to come back.
Yeah.
What have I got to work on? I've just got to get fitter. I've got to get stronger. You know?
Who'd you spar with mainly?
Erin Walsh
Yeah.
would have to be my main sparring partner. You know, so
Yeah, she talked about sparring with you like just before a main event at Lethal Ladies and said how
yeah, I
amazing
think
it
if you
is.
saw us spar,
Yeah.
it's like it's war.
Why don't we? Jay, why don't we go? Can we go to Peach Boxing and film some? Alina, are we able to do that?
Can have tiny snippets.
Yeah.
Oh, so we can't come.
You guys can cut.
Okay. Do you know what I want to do as well? Pad me up and just beat the crap out of me on camera. I think that'd be quite fun.
You should get the boys to do that.
No. we'll get the caretaker to do it. It'll be fine.
Pay her $10 if she can drop you.
Yeah, then all like
That's going to be the
$10.
easiest $10 you've ever made. Do you ever spar Andre and Jerome?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep, we do.
What's that like?
Far.
Yeah.
That's like.
They're heavy
I'm
hitters.
like, no. I'm like, I'm gonna chop their heads off.
Oh,
Like
you go in with something to
Yeah, I
prove.
go in with like full beast mode, like, because I think like I'm a dude, and I'm like,
They're the enemy when you step
yeah,
in
they're
there.
the
not
enemy.
teammates.
Straight up, I'm always like, I go full out, like, ah.
Because they're for not like one of my sort of, because I was a big fan of boxing as a kid. My granddad was a boxer in Northern Ireland, and then when he moved over to London, he was a boxing trainer in North London in Kentish Town. So I had like an introduction to it. I was always around the gym. I was always in his garage when he was training some of his fighters. But then I think 2010-ish, I think I watched The Ultimate Fighter, like the UFC Ultimate Fighter, and I watched that, and it just, boxing for me at that time became non-existent, and I was just all in on MMA. So when I moved over to New Zealand, I was still very much MMA, kickboxing, Muay Thai, but I saw this clip of Andre on Instagram of, what was that? Was it Brennan or something? He was the guy that was just a dick to him before the fight and punched him in the stomach.
Oh yeah, I know, it's just the fella from Australia.
God,
yeah, I know which one.
And they showed and I saw that and I was like, oh my God, this guy's legit as well. And then obviously being around you guys and being able to sort of be in that circle, I'm like, okay, like this is something different.
Yeah, that was cool. But the thing is, Russian can back his mouth.
Yeah. And so
That
can
guy.
Jerome. Jerome's from London, you know?
Yeah.
Like I've heard him talk and he sounds like a Kiwi, but he's from London. I need to have a yarn with him and find out whereabouts. Because I think.
But you know, with that guy, he was too much talk.
Yeah.
And he got found.
But that's what I find about New Zealand in general. You don't like talkers.
No.
Like it's one-outs. It's you open your mouth too much, boom, you're done.
Yeah.
Whereas in London, there's a lot of like yappy dogs.
Oh yeah.
They
All
get found
talk
out
but
here.
no go.
Yeah. They get found out very quickly.
Which is majority of the fighters too.
Yeah.
I find.
Well, most of the fighters you fought anyway.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I kind of like grew up around boxing, but what was your introduction to boxing?
I hated boxing.
Why?
Because that, like, my ex used to do boxing,
Yeah.
and so, like, I hated him, you know, and that.
Yeah.
So I hated boxing
Yeah.
because I felt like I was living in his shadow.
Yeah.
So that's why I hated it. I never wanted to come back.
No.
I literally just only wanted to do it for fitness and
Yeah.
just because I enjoyed the fitness side of it. But fuck, I was bloody scared of being a pro because like I literally looked at pros like, oh, that's for big punches, knockouts. Literally, if you saw me in my amateur days,
Yeah.
I was those like run it like punch and run, punch and run. Like literally, I'd run around the whole ring.
What
just
flipped the
punch and run.
switch then? Like what?
He would-
what made you go
Do you
from
know,
punch and run?
My coach would like tell me, grab me and say, don't move, just stay there. And I'm like, damn it, this is really hard. Because
Yeah.
I was such I was a jumper.
Bit timid.
I was a jumper, just
Yeah.
one of those that jump in, jump out, jump in, jump out, and run.
That's awkward to fight against though. That's not a bad sort of style to have.
Yeah, but it's tiring too. You can't do that for 10 rounds.
No.
I can do it for 3,
Yeah.
easy. But not for 10, no
No.
way. Nah. And I didn't even know how to punch.
So you didn't like it. What, like, there must have been something that sort of, you just went, okay, this is me now. I'm
My
all
first
in.
fight, my first
Yeah.
pro fight. Like I literally.
Why were you doing a pro fight if you didn't like it?
Well, because I just gave it a go and I was like, well, because I originally walked into my coach's house
Yeah.
and he's like, yeah, you're going to be the next world champion. I was like, whatever. I was like, I came down here to get fit.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, he's pretty serious, but okay, I'll just go with it. I was like, why not give it a crack? But then at the same time, I was bloody scared.
Yeah.
And
You
then
might need him to pick our lottery numbers, man. If he could call that from a timid runaway fighter, he can call
Yeah.
a world champion. He needs to pick our lottery numbers.
Just like constantly made me trained and I was getting bashed by bloody, I'll never forget, Omar, he bloody bashed me. And I was like, man, am I
Just
going to
kinda like
handle
it.
Yeah, I was like, I liked it, but then I didn't like it.
Yeah.
Like there was, like he could bang and
Yeah.
he'd just go crazy non-stop. And I was like, is this what I'm going to... Is this what's
Yeah, is
going to
this me
happen in my
now?
pro fight?
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, why not? What's the worst that's going to happen? I've been through worse. So I was like, I'll give it a go. Like, I never thought it was going to be that serious.
Yeah.
Like, literally, where I am now, I never thought of it. Like, my first fight, like, I wasn't nervous. I was excited. But at the same time, I was just like, oh, well, if I'm shit, I'm shit.
Yeah.
If I'm good, oh, well,
Yeah.
then maybe give it another go.
And
But,
you found out you were good and you're like, right, this is it.
man, first
Yeah.
punch...
Yeah.
I was like,
what, that you threw or
"Ooh."
that you received?
Nah, I received.
Yeah.
I was like, really? Come on. And then I was like, whoa. Literally after my fight, I like saw her face and I was like, oh, I think I could be good at this. And then I started having more fights and I was like, nah, this is definitely me. I'm loving it. What the heck? I was like, why didn't I come to this ages ago? You know?
So how old were you when you started?
3 years ago. So I would have been like, hell, I'm 30. I have to think now. I stopped counting after 30.
We can bleep out your age
Yeah.
if you don't want to say.
Nah, I don't care. I don't care. I'm 34.
Yeah.
But yeah, 3 years.
Oh,
I've been
damn.
fighting,
So
yeah.
31, like that's fairly late. Like
Yeah.
in life, like you see most people like Lomachenko, I think he was 2 when he first threw on some boxing gloves. So that's some
But I don't
talent.
limit myself, see?
Yeah.
Age is just a number.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I'm 34, but I feel like I'm 24.
Yeah.
I used to say 22. now I say 24.
A tiny bit more realistic.
Yeah. So now I feel like I'm 24.
No,
you
that's
know?
fair.
I feel way more mentally
Mm.
stable and stronger.
Do you know what? That might be a benefit. Like that's probably the only way in which age is a benefit in these type of things, because you've been through so much in your life before you get to this point that you're mentally prepared
Yeah.
for adversity. You're mentally prepared for different things. Like I was having it, like, again, it's not the boxing world, but having conversations with people at my office where I work that are like 20, 21, I can look at their situations having had 15, 16 more years of experience in life and sort of go, look, you're going about it the wrong way. This is what you need to do. That's what you need to do. So maybe your like life experience has given you that mental edge to be able to push further.
Oh, 100%. Definitely. You know, the life that I've enjoyed, I don't regret it because it's only made me more determined, more stronger, and believe in myself that I am great and that I've got more to give. So much more. Like, I've only just started.
Yeah.
And there's plenty more in me.
Well, you've got 2 weight classes that you're already,
Yeah.
like in your head, you've already dominated.
Yeah,
So
100%.
yeah, that's not a bad goal to have.
Nah.
But what, like, because for most people, and I think it's not even just like a boxing thing, but for most people in any sort of passion that they have, there was a moment or an event or a person that sort of gave them that push or gave them that passion. So for boxing perspective, was there I know you said you don't really like, or didn't at the time really like boxing or whatever, but was there a fight or was there a fighter that you went, oh my God?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll never forget it, and I still remember it like it was yesterday. David Light, when I went to America, it was the most scariest fight I've witnessed in real life, because right from round 1 to the last round, 12 rounds, oh man, like it was just, the guy could bang that David Light fought. He would, like, the punches, like, I could feel them, like, I was in the corner and I'm like shaking, like, please keep him alive. Yeah. It was the most, I'll never forget it, memorable.
Scary but exhilarating.
Yeah, and it was like a rush that I can't even describe, but it, like seeing David battle 12 rounds, it felt like torture, you know, and it wasn't like, you know, one punch was hard and then the rest were like soft. Every punch that was thrown was just lethal, like it just hurt. And that, like, watching that from round 1 to 12 was just like, I was like, man, if he can do that, and he survived. Like, he came back in the 4th round and he was like, I don't think I can do this. And then my coach was like, well, you're going to, and you can do it. And literally they was just like, because it was just a non-stop punching. Like, you know, sometimes you have a punch and then they break. It was war, toe to toe. They were on each other constantly. It was the most scariest fight I've ever witnessed. And literally I was just like, I was so inspired by that fight. Like, it changed.
How can you not be?
It changed the way I saw everything, like the way I visioned fighting. It was just like, man, if he can stay in that war for 12 rounds, then I can stay in any. Yeah. You know, because that was amazing to watch. I'll never forget it.
Do you kind of want to be in that situation yourself? Do you want to, like, you've faced like a bit of adversity in the ring. You've had like some tough fights, but you've never really been to war, so to speak, like in that respect.
Like a big puncher who punches, like, it's like you're punching bloody bricks and you're smashing the brick down. You know, that's what the fight felt like. Yeah. And I was just like, man, that's a like, the courage that he showed, the strength, the fitness, man, it just showed me, like, it made me determined and being like, I want to be like that. I am going to be like that.
That's perfect.
That's like when I've had like my walk, like, you know, that was the trenches. Yeah. That was the trenches. I like witnessed that right in the corner in real life, and him coming back and just that game changer by my coach, just making him feel strong and believing in himself that you can do this. You are. My coach believed, you know, it was those words that my coach said to him as well that made him go out there and go to war even more.
Just so much
because my coach believed in him. Yeah. When you have a coach who truly believes in you, it just makes you perform even more better, because then you're like, nothing's going to break me. And like, what I was lucky I got to witness that in real life, because when it comes to my fights, I literally put that in vision, and I've had like a shoulder pop out, and I was just like, man, I've seen it. I've seen worse than this, so I can handle it. Let's go. So yeah, that's the most memorable fight. Like, I'll never forget it.
Before boxing, what did baby Mea want to be? What did baby Mea want to do?
A firefighter.
Really?
I wanted to be a firefighter.
So nothing boring, like you. So it's we're kind of probably lucky that you fell into boxing, or that you went into boxing, because firefighter. That's
I always wanted to be a firefighter. Honestly.
So you're like a bit of an adrenaline junkie.
Yeah. I loved it. I was like, I'm going to be a firefighter. That's my goal. And then I said to my kids, be a firefighter. They're like, no.
Do any of them want to be boxers?
No. My son's a professional lawn bowler.
Nice. Oh yeah, so I've read about that.
Yeah. So
what's the money like with that? Is that good?
Oh, I think he's paid more than me.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn it, he's only 16 and he gets paid more than me. Jealous.
A little less risk involved in lawn bowls, I think.
Yeah. So.
But I'm quite surprised because you do see a lot of boxers, their kids get into it, and but a lot of them say, like Chris Eubank, for example. I think one of his sons died outside of boxing, but obviously Chris Eubank Jr. is quite big. Nigel Benn, he's got Conor Benn. Like, you do see boxers' kids, but they say, when you look back at interviews when their kids are young, they go, I don't want them doing this.
Oh, yeah.
Like, this ain't the life I chose. This is the life I had to do.
Yeah.
And it's a life I don't want them to have.
Yeah.
Do you kind of have that same mentality when it comes to it?
No, I just, whatever my children pick, whatever makes them happy, I'll support them. Like, yeah, they've never chosen boxing. They've never wanted to give it a go. I've always just allowed them to find what they enjoy and who they are, not what I want for them. Because I find that if I force them, then I'm controlling them. And what gives me the right to control? Like, you know, that's kind of like being possessive. That's how I feel.
Yeah, I get that.
Because I've had that. I've been controlled all my life. So I don't want that on my children. So I wanted them to find what they enjoy, what makes them happy. Because I've always had people just like control me, tell me what I should do, how I should be. But now I'm being being me.
Well, that's made you a better person, I guess. Like, that you've had to sort of go through that adversity, and the same as in your fights. You go through adversity, you come out the other side.
Yeah.
So you've done that, and now you're a better person for it, and you're going to be able to put that better version of you into your children's lives and hope that they sort of blossom into a better version of themselves.
Yeah, and I just find, like, especially what's really important for me is just giving the coping mechanisms and the tools for my children for, like, you know, with their emotions, their feelings, and everyday life. That's my most important thing, because I didn't have that.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't know how to, like, show emotion because I blocked it, you know, because I was always shut down. I was always pushed to a corner, so I kind of stayed silent. And that's what taught me to be silent.
Yeah.
And I don't want that for my daughter, and I don't want that for my son either.
Yeah.
So allowing them to embrace their feelings and coping mechanisms is really important to me, because I lack that. And I didn't realize till I was like 30. And then I realized, I was like, oh, it's okay to share emotions and stuff, because most of the time I just had a wall, and I never, like, I was always like, if someone saw me cry, it's like, that's weakness.
Yeah.
You know, so,
I still kind of see it like that, though. I don't ever want my kids to see me cry. Like, but is it different because I'm a man and a dad? Like, does that maybe give it that different level of, I want them to see me as like an invincible, like, protector. And if I cry, then I'm not.
But then they're following you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, like, the biggest thing that I've learned as a mother, you know, because I always had a wall, and my kids would hide their emotions as well. The greatest thing that I've learned in boxing is that if you don't show your emotions or feelings, you will get found.
Yeah.
And so what I've put those tools into me approaching, you know, teaching my children coping mechanisms. And the greatest thing that I found with my son is that I said to him, a man who cries shows true strength and courage. A man who doesn't cry shows weakness and is afraid and lives in fear.
Ooh.
Because you're afraid to show tears, you're afraid to show emotions. So that's cowardly. That's what I call a coward.
Yeah.
But a man who cries, a man who's not afraid to show emotion, is true courage and true strength.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's what boxing taught me. Things a bit different. And so that's what I taught my son.
I just don't cry in front of you. I do cry sometimes. Like, if I've had a real long day or a real long week, I go on YouTube and I watch these like faith in humanity videos.
Yeah.
Where people, like, you'll see like maybe a homeless child and someone will bring them some food. I sit there and I bawl my eyes out sometimes, but I just don't want to do it in front of my kids.
But if you don't show them, then how are they going to learn to express themselves?
Yeah.
So when they grow up, they're always going to be silence, and they're always just going to bottle it. You know what I mean? And then it's going to manifest in their inner being. And then it's going to make them have a hardened heart. Where if you allow them to express, you're going to teach them how to love. And they're not going to build, and because when they have a hardened heart, they become aggressive, and they end up being violent to the wrong people, to the ones they love. That's what I've
You've
just
opened
learned.
my eyes up a bit, man.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that today. I thought that we'd get like maybe some boxing insight. You've actually given me like insight into life. And
But that's what
parenthood
boxing's taught me,
that's
you know,
helped you.
being in the ring. You know, if you don't be honest with your true emotions and your feelings, then you're being afraid.
Yeah.
And then your coach can't help you.
Yeah.
They can't guide you. But if you be straight up and honest, then they can guide you, and bang, that's how you become a true champion.
That's tough.
You know, to me, it's not even about that prize.
Yeah.
It's about what I'm learning. I'm constantly growing.
The journey
and
is
the journey.
the prize as
Exactly.
well.
And that's the bonus. That's what I love about it. That's what I love. Like, people think that I love being in the ring to fight. It's more than just fighting.
Yeah.
I'm learning about my everyday life
That's so
and how to be a greater person.
yeah.
And then teaching those coping mechanisms, teaching those what my journey I've been through, and allowing the world and sharing it to the world and sharing it to our people. Because once you be your authentic self, you know, you've got nothing weighing you down, you've got nothing pulling you. You can express your full authentic self, and there's no stress on you. And then you're not afraid. You're not afraid to lose. You're
Yeah.
not afraid. You know, that's what you call a true
Yeah.
champion. That's greatness there. That's how I vision life.
Yeah.
That's how I see it.
You've properly opened my eyes. A question that I want to ask you, and a question that, like, moving forward for the podcast in general, I want to ask everyone. How do you, Mea Motu, not the Nightmea, not Mea the boxer, but you, Mea Motu the person, how do you want to be remembered?
I want to be remembered more than just the fighter, but I want to be remembered as the person, who I am, my identity. That's what I want to be known.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a proud Māori. I'm proud from where I'm from, New Zealand, and I'm proud to be from Peach Boxing, and just proud to be able to help others. You know, true love and true kindness overcomes any evilness, because it's not worth it living on a hardened heart. It's not worth it living in that hatred world, because you're going to die like that. And that's what I don't want to leave behind.
Yeah.
I want to know that I live life to the fullest. I'm not going to let those haters captivate me. No way. Because that's just them. That's their problem. It's not mine. My problem is I'm enjoying my life, and I'm enjoying where I am, and I'm embracing it. And I want to know that if I was to die tomorrow, I've lived it. Yeah. I've lived it. I've lived, and I haven't lived in that anger. Because, man, for 10 years, I lived in anger. I lived in anger, hatred. I hated men. I hated men so bad. Now, I don't hate them.
How did you fight your way out of that? Because
Boxing.
So boxing was the
Boxing
final straw,
and
sort of
literally just the guidance. I
Yeah.
had great guidance. I had great coaches. I have a great team
Yeah.
who had literally just guided me, and it made me realize that why are you holding on to all that anger in your life when it's only stopping your skills,
Your growth as a person
your
as
growth
well.
as a person. Because literally, when you have that little bit, it's really hard. Sometimes it's hard. Just live in that moment. When you're angry at someone, be angry in that moment and let it go, because it's not worth holding. Because then that captivates your life and it makes your heart harden.
Yeah.
And then you die like that, which is sad. It's actually really sad. Like, I've learned to forgive the ones that I used to hate, because if I didn't forgive them, then I'm still hard and I'm still not living my authentic self. I'm not embracing the true ability, because that anger really does stop your ability. Like, you're stopping yourself from actually seeing a bigger vision.
Yeah.
Because those people have held you back,
Yeah.
and you've allowed them to captivate that slight little bit, and it just holds you back. But once you learn to let it go, honestly, you're free.
Yeah.
Like, I'm free. That's why I wake up every day. Some days I'm just like, oh my gosh, I hate this. But
can
I
tell,
embrace
though.
it. I embrace
Yeah.
that moment, and then I let it go. And I'm like, okay, see ya, bye.
You can tell, like, seeing you here today and sort of just sitting back, even just conversing with you, you can tell how much you sort of love yourself and how much you know yourself now.
Yeah.
But just like being around you today, seeing you interact with the people from the media, seeing you interact with your teammates, you can tell that you're like you're happy.
Yeah.
You're happy in yourself and who you are and what you're doing, and it's so beautiful to see.
I just love embracing who I
Yeah.
am, and you know, I've been through the trenches,
Yeah.
and it wasn't
came out
worth
the
it.
other side.
Yeah, and I'm just embracing it, and I'm loving it, and I don't want to live life with no regrets. So that's why I'm going for all the titles, because that's what I want, and that's my goal, and that's what makes me happy. So I'm going for it, because I'm not going back. When I die, I'm like, yeah, I live life, woohoo! You know.
When you're at
I've
the
lived
pearly
it.
gates and you're being judged, you're going, yeah, I did it.
Yeah.
I did it all. I did what I wanted to do. I did what I needed to do, and I did it properly. I did it.
And I just want to show
authentically.
the next generation. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter what age you are, how old you are, you can do it. Don't let people tell you can't, because you can literally do it. You know, don't put a time frame. No way. There's no time frame. If you want it to be a time frame, then yeah, but just go out. It's how you get back up.
Yeah.
You know, you fall. Like when I fall, it's not failure to me.
Yeah.
That's growth, because okay, I did it wrong. I may have done it wrong
learn
10
from it.
times, but after the 10th time, bang, I got it. Bang.
It's kind of like that Rocky, like the famous where it's not about how hard you can hit.
Yeah.
It's about how hard you get hit.
Yeah.
Like that's
It's like how hard
you're
you
embodying that statement.
yeah, how determined are you to willing to just get back up?
Yeah.
You know, that's true strength. That's true growth.
Yeah.
Getting up, carrying on, and enjoying what you love. Don't let that, because everyone thinks when you get knocked out, that's the worst thing, because the narratives allowed it
Yeah,
to be the worst
exactly.
thing. So that's why people don't get back up.
But it's a lesson.
It's
It's
a
everything that you
lesson.
go through, every sort
Yeah.
of piece of adversity is a lesson and something that helps you improve as a fighter and as a person.
But then you're also teaching the next generation, next lot of people, that it's not about, you know, when you get knocked out, don't stay down.
No.
You can get back up and
Yeah.
you still can get in the ring and you can still be a champion.
Yeah.
You can still be great. You just have to work a bit more harder now. You know?
I've got a couple of, I think what we've discussed so far today has been amazing and immense. And I've got a couple of like light-hearted questions
cool.
to maybe finish things off. I've got some quick fire ones, so I might need someone to go and grab my phone in a second. But like the ones off the top of my head, bit stupid, and I'm sorry.
Nah,
I
it's cool.
apologise
I
in
like you,
advance.
it's fine.
What's the biggest animal that you think you could take in a fight?
A lion.
Do you reckon you could beat a lion?
Yeah, 100%. It is. It's the biggest.
And speaking of the younger generation, how many 10-year-olds at one time do you think you could be?
None. 10-year-olds are too clever for me. 100%.
Because I reckon, I'm thinking about, I've got a 10-year-old daughter, I reckon I could do about 8 or 9 easy. If like 8 or 9 10-year-olds came at me, boom, you boot one in the face, I think you've got enough time to quickly bash another
No, because
one.
we think 10-year-olds will just do it.
Yeah, but that's to our advantage though, right?
Nah, they're not afraid. They're just like, right, let's go. They're more excited. We're like, okay, I gotta think. How can I get this one? How can I
Yeah.
get that one? See, the kids
Okay.
will just go for it.
All right, 2 then. I could definitely smash 2.
Yeah, nah, I'll lose to 10-year-olds.
And I reckon animal-wise,
I already do lose to one.
a goat,
He's not 10 yet, but he's 9.
and he beats you.
He beats me up all
He
the
beats
time.
the world champion.
Yeah.
I reckon I could smash a goat as well. I reckon I'd beat the crap out of a goat. Maybe a sheep, but nothing
Yeah.
bigger than that.
Yeah, nah.
No? Celebrities, or not even celebrities, but like maybe just well-known figures, who would you most like to smash? To beat up, sorry.
Who would I like to be?
Yeah, like celebrity
Floyd
that you
Mayweather.
just don't like. Yeah!
Yeah. Of course.
Is that as a boxer or as a person?
Both.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%. Boxer and as a person.
No NZ politicians?
Oh, the Prime Minister.
Do you know who I've always wanted to fight? It's a bit of a weird one. Who's that guy? Who's the Frodo Baggins?
Oh, I don't know his name, but the one of Lord of the Rings.
I just hate his face, man. I don't know why.
I like Lord of the Rings.
I do as well. I mean, it was filmed here, but like, there's just something. When I first watched it, right? Because I've liked him in other stuff.
Yeah.
But when I first put Lord of the Rings on, I was like, right, this is going to be big, this is going to be epic. And you know, main characters, I don't know if it's the same for women, but for men, main characters are supposed to be like big and strong, and I
Oh,
thought
he's
this
a
guy's a
little
little
dwarf.
pussy, like he's a little wimp. And it pissed me off so much that it made me want to fight him. And it made me not like him or anything else that he did.
Yeah, I can see that one, but you know.
But yeah, I'll keep my opinion on NZ politicians
Otherwise, I would like
to
Jake
one
Paul.
side.
He annoys me.
So that I was going to ask you that, and I was going to ask Peach. Influencer boxing. What's your take on that?
Oh, he's pretty good. Like, don't get me wrong, good on him. Like, you know, he's done well, but
He seems to be taking it fairly serious. Like in comparison to like KSI and his brother Logan Paul. Jake Paul initially maybe not, but like at the moment he seems to like he's a boxer as far as like most people are concerned. He's dedicating his time and his life to it. Whereas like the KSIs and the Logan Pauls, and I don't know the other YouTuber guys, but the YouTuber guys they're doing it for clicks, they're doing it for money. Why don't we set up a Mea Motu versus an influencer charity fight or something?
I would laugh. Actual. Yeah, I don't think I could do that one.
Why?
Because I would just end up laughing. I would not be able to.
You wouldn't take it seriously?
I would be like, oh, this is a joke.
Yeah.
Like,
do you reckon we could do a Jake Paul Mea Motu fight? I reckon Isaac can pull
I reckon
some
that would
strings.
be serious.
I think Alina's on the phone now. I think she's trying to make it happen. So that's something to look forward to. Mea, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for coming and for making our debut podcast so special. You've made me feel comfortable. You've made me actually enjoy my job.
Oh, that's good.
And I very much appreciate it. For those of you back home, as Mea said at the beginning, she will be fighting on April the 26th at the ABA Stadium. Tickets are selling out fast already, and they're exclusive. We're not just letting nobodies in.
No.
We're the best of the best fans have to come and watch Mea Motu make her return and next step to undisputed champion. And if you don't manage to get a ticket, you might be able to stream it live on csn.watch, and I'll be commentating.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, we could do that as well.
100%.
But Mea, thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Here we are. Thank you.
Awesome.